It's a time for package from China. Hey, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in because we have reviewed all kinds of weird stuff here on the channel. And if you didn't know, now you know. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell because we have so many cool things, but also like horrible things from AliExpress. I really love to buy weird stuff on there, and some of them are pretty damn surprisingly good and some are really bad. This 180 in 1 was one of those products that I didn't really know what to think about it. So the general idea is pretty damn cool. You just have a game system inside an old school NES cartridge. You're going to plug in everything in the cartridge itself. The USB controllers, you have the power on switch, the reset, and of course the AV out. The device even came with a region switch so you can use it on every single television, and the library of games was quite nice, to be honest. So what you're actually going to get was the system, the controls, an AV cable and adapter. Yup, you hear that correctly, an AV out cable. And that was, I think, the biggest bummer that I find of this MindKit's cool shell NES. I think the idea is pretty cool, but I wish they had an HDMI connection at least. That would be so much better and will give this thing more like a next generation feel to it. But in this video I'm using it on an LCD, so that's not even the best combination with AV out. It didn't really look bad, but it would be better to use this on a CRT, of course. Okay, same game. I can hear a lot of interference, by the way. And let's go to the other region now. But there was a significant difference between the speeds of the games. So from now on, I'm just going to leave it like this. Okay, so let's see how the quality is with this game. The control plays just like an original controller. It's just superb. Crap. Come here, you stupid thing. Crap. So the games itself seems to be playing just fine. I did notice like the colors are a little bit off, but it's due of the AV out. But let's talk about what you're actually going to get. So the system, adapter and two controllers, and of course the needed cabling. So the presentation of the product is not bad at all. I really like it what I'm seeing over here. So one of the things, eye of detail, is that we have even the original dust cover where we get back in the day with the games. You would always want to play this and plug it into your NES, but of course that doesn't work at all. And high quality shell, and I think it's just a very cool novelty in the end. The region switch seems to be working just fine, and the reset, so you can just basically like put it underneath your monitor or on top of your monitor if you have in the CRT, of course. So the quality, yep, they did an amazing job with this. They never released any new versions. They should even make a Famicom version. That would be possible with the tiny PCB in the inside, but yeah, besides the shell NES 118 collection, they never made an improvement. So it's a little bit of a bummer. Underneath there we're going to get ourselves the cables, and the controller they're giving you are the original classic NES. Oh man, I grew up with these things. Not the same color, they are in the same style like the cartridge itself, translucent, and the overall feel is not bad at all. It's of course not the original quality, but I must say that I played with it for some time and they play quite nice, including turbo button, so that's of course the looks. But beside that, I think they did an amazing job with this too. There's almost nothing in the inside. They have USB plugs, but the weird thing is I couldn't get another controller to work, so you need to be careful with these controllers. If they break, it's highly possible there is no controller to use with your game system anymore. But one of those cool things you can do with it is even having original save function. So that is pretty damn cool, to be honest. There is a tiny battery on the PCB that I already noticed, and that will keep your save alive. So take consideration, if the battery dies off, you will eventually have no save whatsoever. I think it's a feature you don't see very often when it comes to these Famicom clone things. Alright, so let's disconnect this cartridge game system and let's open it up, because I am curious what are we going to get in the inside. Yep, it's translucent so we can see some parts, but just wanted to open it up and see how it is with the save function. For example, you can see like it seems to be working, but is there a battery inside? Because I'm not a big fan of those things, because if it's going to be like a dead battery, you're going to lose your freaking save files. So that is something we're going to take a close look in the inside. Okay, let's remove the 3 Parkers. And let's very gently pry it open, and let's see if we can manage to check inside, because I want to know. Oh crap, the downside is this is just a sticker, so we need to remove it very gently and then we can open it up. Okay, so I do like the shell format, and if you need to open it up, and yep, there is a battery in here. So if you need to replace the battery itself, because I think they will go up to 3-4 years or something like that I read somewhere. You need to remove the sticker a couple of times. So the construction wise, I am not a big fan of it. But let's take a close look at this. Oh crap, of course Wicked, just do it like that. After that it will not stick anymore. Go down, damn it, stupid sticker. It's always going to get like that, damn it. But let's take a close look at the board itself. So this is what we're going to get inside. Now we have disassemble the main board itself. We can look into the chips itself, because we couldn't read them when it was built inside the cartridge. So over here we're going to get the special MXIC. It's a chip that is made in Taiwan. I did some digging around. So this Microtonic, if I'm saying it correctly, from Taiwan, they are using this chip in a multi-game card sometimes here and there. And over here we're going to get a special chip, the Sharp from Japan, and it seems to be that this is a RAM chip. I looked it up with some information. The other chips, I couldn't find any information whatsoever, but what I find very interesting about this is that they are done not using like really horrible chips in overall. The battery, so the battery, if it goes dead, it's a little bit of a bummer, because you need to remove the sticker every single time. I think if you're doing it twice or maybe 30 times, yeah, the sticker at the front is going to be messed up. So it's not going to be an easy swap. Of course, we can basically swap it out very easily, but opening it up, that is going to be the major problem. Alright, so it's not a new product. So I think this is the date that I made it, like in 2020, so last year. That's the thing that they are always doing, like selling it in like new models or new editions. It is not the first edition, it's the version 1.04. We can find so many weird things when it comes to AliExpress, and this is one of them. I should make a top 5 or top 10 out of these things, because there are so many cool things out there that makes no sense buying. Yeah, because there's no HDMI on this. Maybe if you have an old CRT, that would be fun to plug it in, but only over 100 games. I must say the collection itself was surprisingly good. But beside that, when you're looking at it, it's a fun novelty. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of a product like this? Would you pick it up? And subscribe, hit the little bell, and it would be great to see you in the next video.